friend. Welcome back to another Pep Talk with Lisa. So the other day I was listening to a podcast and Taylor Swift said something that really made me stop in my tracks. She said, "Your energy is a luxury item. Not everyone can afford it." And honestly, that hit me right in the gut because that's something I've been learning the hard way over the past few years. We can spend our energy on things that don't necessarily deserve it. The hater that posted something nasty on your recent post, the photographer that feels like they might copy everything you do, or the client with the endless editing requests that you just can't seem to make happy. What Taylor meant is that your time and your attention and your emotional presence aren't cheap, disposable things. They're precious, they're rare, and deeply valuable. When we think of a luxury item, it's something that's not accessible to everyone. It has to be cherished, invested in, and treated with respect. Taylor was essentially saying that our energy works the same way. Here's how I'd break it down. Your energy is valuable. It's not nice just to have. It's the way you show up. Calm, creative, supportive, inspiring. It's worth something. People feel your energy in the room. It changes how they experience you, whether you're on stage, in a meeting, on a video, or in a photo session. Because if you give your energy freely to everyone, clients who drain you, people who don't value your work, friends that take advantage of you, you end up being depleted. Treating your energy like a luxury means you get to choose where it goes, instead of handing out to anyone who asks. So luxury items are rare and carefully chosen. Your energy should be too. That means boundaries around your work, your relationships, your time. It means being intentional about who gets the best of you and who doesn't. So in plain terms, she was just reminding us that your energy is your currency. So don't spend it where it's not appreciated, because the people who truly value you will be willing to pay for it, whether that's with money, respect, or reciprocity. But even the mental energy, the time we spend thinking about our sessions, planning them, booking them, shopping for props, thinking about editing like 50 times before we actually do it. As photographers, our work just isn't about the camera, the lens, or the lighting. We show up with our whole selves, our calm, our humor, our patience, our creativity. Our energy sets the tone for every single session. A fussy baby can feel your calm and then settles. Or kids can sense your playfulness and suddenly they let their guard down. Or a mom who's nervous about her session and how she starts to relax when you reassure her that she's beautiful and that you're going to take care of her. That's not luck, and that's not Photoshop. That's your energy at work. But here's the thing. That energy costs something. It's not infinite and it's not free. And if we're not careful, we start spending it in places that drain us before we even get to our studios. And this really came up for me this past summer. I actually made this decision this summer not to take any clients in July and August. And on paper, it didn't really make sense. The sessions themselves really wouldn't have taken me that long. The money was there, the inquiries were coming in. But what I realized was that the mental energy I was leaking was not worth the price I was charging. I would spend days just waiting for babies to arrive so I could schedule their sessions, or I'd find myself checking clients' Instagram or Facebook or my email just for updates. I'd be pulled out of my present moment with my family because in the back of my head, I was constantly running through logistics about when the session would actually happen. Even though the actual session might have only been a few hours, I was spending so much time worrying and waiting and anticipating. And even though I was charging a decent price for my time, for my photography, that unpaid mental load, it just wasn't worth it anymore. I wasn't present in my life, so I stopped. I gave myself permission to actually be off, and the relief I felt was actually huge. It was like I could finally exhale just after holding my breath for way too long. And it gave me space to rest and reset and come back feeling inspired and excited. And it made me realize that if I'm going to give away my energy, it needs to be worth it. That leak should be very, very expensive. And I saw this play out again in a newborn session not too long ago. There was this little one. They were not having it. She was just not happy. She was crying. She was really unsettled. And the parents were starting to get stressed, which we all know make the baby a little more unsettled. So in the past, I might have panicked a bit internally, thinking I needed to rush or fix it or just push through. But instead, I slowed down. I softened my breathing. I kept my voice calm, and I just honestly zenned out and let the baby lead. And within a few minutes, the whole room shifted. The baby was calm, the parents were calm, we got the images they wanted. That was my energy. And that's why Taylor's words resonated so much. If your energy really is a luxury item, then not everyone should have unlimited access to it. Not every client gets to drain you. Not every request deserves a yes. Luxury means rare, valuable, and intentional. And for me, protecting my energy looks like shooting with intention instead of overshooting. Because overshooting isn't just extra files. It's hours of my life gone. It's also about being clear about who my ideal client is. So the right people are walking through my door, and they're the ones who actually value what I bring. And yes, it looks like charging in a way that reflects not just my time, but the emotional labor of holding space for families, newborns, and all the dynamics that come with that. And I know it can feel hard. Saying no isn't easy, and protecting your energy can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're used to putting everyone else first or worried about missing out. But here's the truth. Every time you give away your energy without thought, you're teaching people how little it's worth. And every time you protect it, you're creating more space for yourself, for your family, for your creativity. And that's not selfish, that's sustainable. So if this is resonating with you, just take a moment and think about what it means in your own life. Where are you leaking energy? Where do you need to pull back? Where do you need to give yourself permission to rest? Because your energy is part of your art. It's part of what makes you the photographer you are. Protect it, nurture it, and only give it where it really matters. And thank you truly for spending some time of your energy here with me. I don't take it lightly. So until next time, my friend, I'm sending you so much of my light and love. We'll see you next time.